Hello fellow Raxians, and welcome back to the 4th edition of Road to the Fortuna, hosted by yours truly, LinkFrost Gaming. This is the marathon where I Araxium and review 5 carbines available to the NC, and the marathon will come to an end with a review of the 19A Fortuna, the Araxium carbine for the new conglomerate. Today is part 4 of part 6, and the weapon that is going to be reviewed today is the Nanite Systems 11 carbine, a weapon, like all other NS weapons, that sacrifices killing potential for versatility. There is actually a different weapon description for all of the different variations of the NS-11C, but for the sake of time, I will go over the normal one. Modeled after the popular 11A, the 11C carbine is a stable and accurate all-arounder, making it a great choice for engagements up to medium ranges. I'll be breaking down all the weapon's stats and give you my recommended attachment options as well as some recommended playstyles. Now, not too long ago, I said that there are different variations for the NS-11C, and that's right, there are, and here's how to get them. If you want the standard normal version, it will cost you 1,000 certs or 700 station cash. For the black version, it's 1,500 station cash, and for the gold version, it's 2,000 station cash, basically 15 and 20 US dollars respectively. Unlocking any of these weapons with station cash will unlock the weapon for your entire account. Throughout the video, you might be seeing me use a special shiny version of the weapon, and that's the special platinum version, and you can only get it by recruiting 5 of your friends into playing the game. You also somehow have to force those 5 friends to spend $10 each on PlanetSide 2. Not only that, the recruitment system can change since that SOE has now been acquired by Daybreak Games, so your chances of getting this beauty may be slim. Yeah, that sucks. But unlocking the platinum version will unlock it for your entire account and for all of your characters. And speaking of all of your characters, this weapon is common pool, meaning that every single one of your characters, regardless of their faction, can use this weapon. Now that that mess is out of the way, it's time to take a look at the weapon's statistics. The NS-11C fires at 652 rounds per minute, which is very middle ground for fire rate. The damage model is 143 damage maximum at 10 meters and falls off to the minimum damage of 112 at 60 meters. With this damage model, it will require 7 shots to kill anyone at 10 meters, 8 shots to kill between 11 and 38 meters, and 9 shots to kill beyond 39 meters. The muzzle velocity is 450 meters per second, which is honestly kinda slow for an all-around weapon and is just barely on par with the AF-4A Bandit, a weapon that is specifically meant for close quarters. The reload speed of the weapon is 1.85 seconds short if at least 1 bullet is left in the magazine, but if you empty it out completely, you will engage in a long reload speed of 2.3 seconds. The reload speed is a bit quicker than most other weapons. The ammo pool is 210 rounds, and each magazine will carry 35 rounds, which is 5 more bullets if you play NC or VS, but 5 less bullets for your normal carbine if you play TR. Now let's move on to recoil values. The weapon's recoil pattern travels up and to the left, and to compensate, pull straight down and to the right. The recoil angle is -20 to -17 degrees. The horizontal recoil value is 0.2 degrees and the vertical recoil value is 0.22 degrees. The first shot recoil multiplier is 3 times, so the recoil strength of the first shot of a burst will be 0.66 degrees instead of 0.22 degrees. The hipfire accuracy is a tiny bit better than average. Just like all other nanite system weapons, the NS-11C has you move at 75% of your normal walking speed when aiming down the sights, which is extremely good, since you will be moving faster than most other weapons in the game while aiming. Moving faster translates to more missed shots from the enemy. The recommended engagement range for this weapon is medium range. You shouldn't engage too close because of the poor rate of fire, and you shouldn't engage too far because of the poor muzzle velocity and damage. However, that shouldn't stop you from using this weapon in long ranges, because that's what I like to do sometimes. This weapon can be built for pretty much anything, but in order to create the weapon you want to use, you first need to know what attachments this weapon has to offer. For optics, the NS-11C can equip scopes 1x through 4x, including the heat-seeking night vision scope. It all depends on what range you want to use this gun in order for me to recommend a scope. I'll go over some builds that I like to use and builds that I see other players use for the NS-11C, but I'll do it a bit later. The barrel attachments you can use are the standard suppressor, the flash suppressor, and the compensator. For rail, you can slide on a dark light flashlight, a forward grip, and a laser sight. And last, optional ammo choices are soft point and high velocity. Now before I go over some tips, I will give you some recommended builds for the weapon depending on how you want to use it. So, if you want to use this weapon in close quarters, then I recommend a 1x scope, a laser sight, soft point ammo, and your choice of a suppressor, a flash suppressor, or no barrel attachment at all. This build will give you the most possible damage output in close quarters thanks to soft point ammo, and a laser sight will give you increased hipfire capabilities. For medium ranges, I recommend a 1 or 2x scope. I prefer the 1x scope. A forward grip, no barrel attachments, and a high velocity ammo. This setup will ensure that you will get the best possible performance for medium range engagements, but if the high velocity ammo is giving you too much problems with controlling the recoil, then feel free to put on a compensator. For long ranges, you want to run with a 3.4x scope, a compensator, a forward grip, and no special ammo types. This setup will reduce your weapon's recoil as much as possible, and it won't harm your muzzle velocity either. These are just some basic ways you can use this gun effectively, but this is a very versatile weapon, so you can mix and match your attachments to fit your playstyle however you want. Now let me give you some tips and advice on how to use this weapon as effective as possible. The first tip is to strafe while aiming, and like I said in the Bandit review, dance and dance like you mean it. This weapon has you move at 75% of your normal walking speed, and this is faster than most other weapons. Basically, what this means is that since you move faster, the enemy is more likely to miss their shots. The second tip is to go for headshots as often as possible. The recoil on this weapon is seriously easy to control. Plus, this weapon has a slow time to kill, so if you aim for the head, you will get the job done much quicker. Third is to avoid shotguns, SMGs, and long-range assault rifles. These weapons will definitely outclass you and will get rid of you fairly quickly. Although this weapon does have a fast reload, you don't have to exactly reload the moment you eliminate one target, since you'll have 5 extra rounds than your normal BS and NC carbine. Next is to pick your engagement range strategically. Don't engage too close and don't engage too far. Other weapons could pose a bigger threat to you up close and in longer ranges, so find a comfortable range, aim for the head, and fire away. And finally, don't position yourself in the front lines. This weapon is more of a support / marksman carbine than an actual killing machine. And like I said before, keep your distance, aim for the head, and you'll be good. Now let's check out how this weapon performs on both the light assault and the engineer. For light assault, you can get the jump on enemies and use higher ground to attack enemies unexpectedly. So hopefully you kill them before they kill you. Performance-wise on light assault, it's average. As for the engineers, this weapon is excellent. It is an amazing support weapon for a support class, and I think this carbine might even be better on engineers. But overall, this weapon is a great all-around weapon. I would recommend it to people who are struggling with recoil, but you need to be accurate with this weapon, otherwise it's not that good. In my honest opinion, I think that each faction has a better long-range marksman carbine than this one. They include the T5 AMC and the HC1 Cougar for the Terran Republic, the Razor GD23 for the New Conglomerate, and the Pulsar C for the Vanu Sovereignty. If you want a good all-around weapon that is accurate and that you can share with all factions, then this weapon is for you. Now time for me to answer the final two questions. Was the grind for the Araxian medal worth it? I say yes, because I feel as if the weapon is easy to use, and I recall going on some neat kill streaks with it, which made me enjoy the weapon a lot. Will I ever come back to the NS-11C? Probably. I won't say for sure, but I probably will. If I want to take care of enemies from a distance, I'll use the 11C. Some might say that I should use the Razor, but I honestly don't like the Razor. Anyways, for NC, I'll probably come back to this weapon, but for TR and BS, I'll use other long-range carbines. And that's the NS-11C, and my thoughts and opinions on the weapon. It's a good all-arounder with controllable recoil to manage those easy headshots. People with high accuracy will make the most of this weapon, and I recommend it to pretty much anybody with any skill level. The weapon is also extremely customizable, so you can put whatever you want on it to fit your playstyle, and versatility is always a good thing. However, the biggest downsides are its fire rate and its muzzle velocity. Both of these will make the time to kill slower than most other weapons and will harm you in longer range engagements. And that concludes part 4 of Road to the Fortuna, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I am so sorry for the long wait of the release of this video. I hope the wait was indeed worth it, and if you enjoyed your time listening to my voice and my opinions about this weapon, and if you enjoyed the video, then why not leave a like and share with your friends. Don't forget to share anything about the NS-11C or just about anything you want in the comments section below. If you want to help keep me going, then the best way to do so is to hit that subscribe button. The next part will be the Gauss Compact S. But until next time, stay frosty, subscribe, and I'll see you all later.